Hello and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway for the second season of the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series. We're here at the famous Daytona International Raceway for our first race of the season. Last year, it was our season ender and we only raced on the backstretch, but 10 drivers are here to battle it out on the high banks for the main circuit. Let's take a look at your starting grid. Darnell Matthews on point, followed by Dom Capps, Eric Heiden, Justin Yee, Noah Oscarino, Henrietta Fitzwater, Zachary Fitzwater, Dillon Young, Isaac Sinclair, and Christian Mizdrak. Now, this series is a little bit different than it was last year. Only 10 cars on track. All of these drivers are looking to work their way into the DASCAR Phillips Cup Series. So this is kind of a feeder series for that. Hopefully they'll be able to find rides of their own, and the winner of this championship will get a lock-in spot for the next season. But the green flag is out. We're ready for 20 laps of racing here at Daytona. Side-by-side racing under the lights, coming out of the gate. Matthews still holding strong in the inside line, but Capps is starting to get a little bit of an edge on the outside line. Justin Yee following close behind. Now, of these drivers, only 2 of them have raced in a Regional Pro Cup Series race. They are Dillon Young and Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater is the only driver to run the full schedule. Dillon Young ran in the Light Series and got himself a victory, which allowed him to run one event in the Regional Pro Cup Series. So, a lot of rookies to this series, but not rookies in general. Many of these drivers have been in series before, especially Dom Capps and Justin Yee. Isaac Sinclair is another one, but some of these guys, relative rookies. Eric Heiden is going out to the race lead, and he's going to lead lap number 1 as Oscarino makes a challenge to the inside line. Oh, a little contact with the wall. I think that was Justin Yee, who's going to lose a little bit of debris on his number 64 machine. No cautions for this event. So that's something that these drivers will have to worry about. If you fall behind, there's no catching up. Car down to the race lead. I believe that is Fitzwater in the 59. Isaac Sinclair following close behind. A lot of green and white schemes on track. A lot of green and black schemes as well. It's going to make some identification a little bit difficult, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Isaac Sinclair going after the race lead. Contact is made! Capps, Yee, Oscarino, and Yee is smoking heavy contact into the wall for the 64 machine. A couple other cars are going to fall behind. And that is going to be the first wreck of the day and of the season. But no cautions, as I said. Let's take a look at a replay. Now, Justin Yee's running to his inside line. Dom Capps is really giving the 500 of Oscarino the business. And Yee is just an innocent victim here. Ends up getting into the wall, and he's going to pull that car behind the wall, which is really unfortunate for the Belkin machine. Oscarino is still on track, but he's lost a lot of ground. Heiden got a little piece of that as well. Dom Capps is actually going to not lose too much from it, but I think he's going to lose this main pack as Justin Yee. Bringing it behind the wall, we're back on track live. And look at that, to the race lead is Dillon Young in car number 39. Dillon Young, longtime competitor in many forms of racing, driving the Acer machine. He's going to take the race lead, but looking to the inside, there comes Zachary Fitzwater, the 2 most experienced drivers in the field for Regional Pro Cup Series, battling up front. However, things are pretty different from last year. These are not the same style of car that were running last year. They were running a little more traditional stock cars. These are a lot of foreign brands, so different setups for these machines. The Phillips Cup Series has a wide variety of manufacturers, and we're glad to have that diversity in the garage area, as it really makes for some excellent manufacturer battles on track. But Dillon Young is going to keep his race lead away from Zachary Fitzwater. There comes Henrietta Fitzwater, helping out her husband, if I'm not mistaken. Diving down low, the 91 car is going to try and gain some position for herself. Isaac Sinclair's up there, and so is Mizdrak. So it is only a 5-car battle. As you see 2 cars lingering behind that is Capps and Matthew. It looks like they're not going to have the speed to get to the front unless we have another wreck, which these top 5 are certainly not hoping for. Dillon Young still leading this event. Henrietta Fitzwater second place, but there's a battle for that position as Sinclair's got a good draft from Mizdrak. Sinclair diving low. Can he get the drop on the 91 car? The Fitzwater family to the outside lane. I think Zachary Fitzwater, remember that move from last lap? Decides he's going to try and gain some spots for himself. Meanwhile, Dillon Young's pulling out to a lead, but that's not necessarily good for him, because when you're alone here, cars in a draft can really catch up. 6 laps down out of our 20. Mizdrick is going to gain some positions here. She's up to second place overall in that 787. Teammate in the form of Oscarino. Oscarino falling behind. Now, something these drivers have to worry about in this event. You have two cars that are relatively off pace. They're all by themselves, no drafting help. There's a good chance that you'll run into them by the end of this event. 20 laps is doesn't seem like a lot of laps, but you catch up quickly at these style of racetrack, especially going around 200 miles per hour. So that could be an interesting factor at the end of this event. Dillon Young still leads. He's been able to hold off Mizdrick. Fitzwater diving down to the inside line in that 59 machine. He's going to try and make that pass for second. Dillon Young's got a great car. He was saying in qualifying, just after it, that he feels like they got a fast race car. It just didn't really show in qualifying. It's good in the pack. It's good out in clean air. So, Dillon Young, very confident in his machine. Got a great car today, but Fitzwater also was talking a bit about his machine. He's pretty happy with how his team is running. He and wife Henrietta. Isaac Sinclair tails out this field as it's gone single file up near the front. I'm going to take this time to mention... oh wait, no, we got a little bit of a battle up near the front. They're all going to abandon Dillon Young. The 59 machine dives to the inside line. Mizdrick's going to follow. And it's just going to be a freight train around the 39 machine of Dillon Young. I think they said they've had enough of Young leading this race. Time to get someone new up there. Still a lot of time to catch up, though. Only has to pass 4 other machines. More jockeying for position as Henrietta Fitzwater tries to pass Mizdrick. And it looks like she will get it done as Dillon Young is catching up to that main pack. Back in a position, passing Sinclair in the 54. He works his way to the bottom. I'm going to take this time to mention that this takes place during the Phillips Cup Series weekend here at Daytona. Check their first race of the schedule on the Tasman Dutch channel, part of the DASCAR Sports Network. It should be a great event. Phillips Cup Series racing is always some of the best racing you'll see. And I hope to see you there for that event. Be sure to subscribe to Tasman Dutch for that race. Well, let's go back to the race that's on track at the moment. Dillon Young is really rocketing his way up through the field as Fitzwater stays up near the front. Henrietta Fitzwater unable to throw the block on Young. Young has got a powerhouse in that Acer machine. I guess Acer computers are quite happy that such a car is representing their company. The 59 of Fitzwater looks like he's going to give way. Can Dillon Young get the drop on him? That inside line is the better line. All by himself, the 39 car is going to get around Fitzwater. So, Young to the race lead. Sinclair going to follow close behind. We have reached about the halfway point of this event. Now it's crunch time. These 5 look to be the 5 that are going to be battling for it at the end. So, it's going to be one of these 5 up front unless something happens. 54 car of Sinclair. Now jockeying his way to the front, trying to stake his claim on the lead. Now, leading a point in this series will give you a bonus point. Leading the most laps gives you a second bonus point, so every point matters, especially when only 10 points are being awarded to the winner, 1 point to last place. Things are pretty close on track, so you can't have too many bad days. Young is shuffled all the way to the back as Sinclair out front. Sinclair, a competitor in the Phillips Cup Series for several seasons now. Wasn't able to get a ride this year. He's hoping that he can change that come the mid-season. Car number 91 of Fitzwater battling with another Fitzwater for that second place position as Dillon Young. He keeps getting cycled back, but he's quite fast. And look at that. There's another car in view. That is the Tic Tacs machine of Noah Oscarino, the number 500. He's all by his lonesome. Now, how will he be as a back marker? He's kind of staying to the middle of the track there. And he's going to block the low line, let everyone go on the outside. So Sinclair takes the spot to the outside lane. I think his spotter said that was a bad move. He's trying to move to the middle line. Now he's drifting his way up the racetrack in front of Mizdrick. It's now Sinclair up front, followed by Fitzwater, Young, and Fitzwater. Mizdrick's trying to get around that 500, but she's having a little bit of trouble. Christian Mizdrick in the 787. Being held up by, I believe that's actually her teammate, so I don't know what he's doing there. I think he's trying to get a little bit of a draft. But it turns out that that car is just too damaged. It's holding up Mizdrick, and now she might lose this main pack if she can't get around her teammate. I'm not sure what that team is doing, if that's team owners or not. But if it is, that's not the smartest move for this event. Zachary Fitzwater is going to steal the race lead away. A little help from Dillon Young. And look at that. Eric Heiden's now a driver they have to deal with. A couple of cars diving low to try and get that draft line, but it's going to end up biting them as Fitzwater is going to pull out to a huge lead. As Dillon Young in the number 39 machine is going to get around now. Fitzwater seems to be held up. There is Sinclair going around the outside. Mizdrick able to get around Oscarino. So maybe she can still be a part of this event. Fitzwater has a huge gap between he and the 39 machine, but that is not good at this track, as we said earlier. You want to have a drafting partner behind you, even if they may be able to, snooker you and get by. It's better than being out alone, or else you're a sitting duck, as it looks like Fitzwater is at right now, as Young trying to squeeze his way to the outside line. Daytona, not the widest of racetracks that you'll be on. If we were at Talladega, per se, that may have worked, but Dillon Young, I don't think he wanted to press his luck. He ends up losing a spot to Isaac Sinclair, who gets back up to the front. So now, just as a race summary, after now going on 15 laps of 20 in these final stages of the event, one car is pulled behind the wall. That's Justin Yee. He was involved in a lap 2 incident. Noah Oscarino and Eric Heiden are both off the lead lap. That's going to leave 7 cars on the lead lap as of right now. Matthew and Caps don't seem to be that close to the leaders. Their 2-car tandem has worked for the majority of this event in keeping them from dropping too quickly. We see Mizdrick there was not able to catch up to the back end of Henrietta Fitzwater in time. She's all by herself. I expect that car to start dropping back. Hopefully she can finish out this race in 5th and not get overtaken by the Caps Matthew tandem. Since that team is going to be moving a little bit faster than Mizdrick. But only a couple laps to go. Fitzwater is your race leader. Dillon Young following close behind. He's going for it, but he just doesn't have the room. Fitzwater is sliding up into that middle line, not giving a lot of space for Young to work with. And there is Henrietta Fitzwater. This is a good advantage for the Fitzwater team because they got 2 drivers up there that are working together. Young and Sinclair don't have that teamwork or camaraderie. So it's just the Fitzwater team versus the world up there, it would seem. If Henrietta wanted, she could block Young and Sinclair and keep Fitzwater up front, and vice versa. Zachary Fitzwater could throw the block on Dillon Young. And Sinclair, here comes Henrietta Fitzwater, car number 91, diving low. Young is going to get shuffled to the outside line. Here comes Sinclair. It's now a 4-car battle up near the front. Fitzwater still holding on. Teammate and partner following 2nd place. Sinclair is in 3rd. Dillon Young, we know he has a fast car. Can he muscle it around in these late stages? Henrietta Fitzwater is the only one of these 4 drivers that have not led a lap today as of yet. Could she lead that most important one, the final lap? She's trying for it, diving low under Zachary Fitzwater. A little bit of help from Isaac Sinclair, but Sinclair is going to back out of it. This allows Dillon Young to take the spot. And it's going to be Fitzwater down low to the race lead. Henrietta Fitzwater in the 91 machine. She's going to take it coming out of turn 2. Dillon Young in car number 39 trying to look low. Is he going to make it 3 wide? He may do it. And Sinclair will have to choose who he's going to back. It looks like he's pretty adamant about backing Zachary Fitzwater. That's his horse. 3 wide going through turn 3 and 4. Dillon Young seems to have the better line. The 59 machine's really sliding up the racetrack. Really riding the wall. Contact with the wall. Fitzwater. That's going to slow Sinclair down. I think Sinclair's going to back out of it. He backed the wrong horse, and now he's going to try and gain a position on the 59 machine. Dillon Young was able to edge out Henrietta Fitzwater at the line on lap 19. So now the 59 shuffled back to 4th place. After some great three-wide racing on the racetrack. Dillon Young out front. Isaac Sinclair. Can he make a late race move? He's got a good race car, but he's been kind of a sleeper up there. It's been mostly Dillon Young up front. Zachary Fitzwater as well. He's been leading a lot of laps too. But these other two have just been kind of present. Lurking. Can they get it done? Going through the final 2 corners. A little bit of space between Young and Sinclair. Side-by-side battle between the Fitzwaters. Looks like that teamwork that we thought was going to happen. Not so for the Fitzwater bunch. Final lap of racing. Dillon Young in the 39 machine. Out front. Isaac Sinclair basically on his own. Will he have enough momentum to drive past Dillon Young? Or will he need the Fitzwaters to help get it done? Final time through turn 2. Down the back stretch. Sinclair is right on the back bumper. If he can get enough momentum, he will be able to pass Dillon Young. He just has to find his marks. Coming through the final 2 corners, the Fitzwaters have lost this main pack. It's now a 2-car battle. Coming to the line, Dillon Young out front. Will Sinclair make a move? He's stuck to the bottom. Coming to the line, Dillon Young will win the season opener here in Daytona. For the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series, Sinclair is just unable to get it done. Didn't have the momentum. Congratulations to Dillon Young in his Acer machine. Great effort by this team. Sinclair doing a great job as well, and the Fitzwaters will also have a solid effort today as well. So, Dillon Young, DASCAR Lites winner, now Regional Pro Cup Series winner. Let's take a look at your race results. Dillon Young led the most laps today, ended up winning the event. Isaac Sinclair with a solid 2nd place run, followed by the Fitzwater bunch, 3rd and 4th. Christian Mizdrick lost the field, but kept her spot, rounding out your top 5. Dom Capps and Darnell Matthew, your pole sitter, ran into some trouble early. Then 2 cars off the lead lap. Noah Oscarino and Eric Heiden, Justin Yee, didn't finish the race. Point standings look just about the same. Dillon Young up front, followed by Sinclair, Fitzwater, Mizdrick, Capps, Matthew, Oscarino, Heiden, and Yee. Now Oscarino actually was able to make a pass on Eric Heiden near the end there, so he actually moved himself up from 9th to 8th, but they are tied in points since Eric Heiden led a lap early on. Well, this does it for this race here for the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series. Next time we'll see you will be in South Boston. Should be a great event, and we'll see you there. Be sure to check out the Daytona event, the Phillips Cup Series on Tasman Dutch's channel. This has been the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series for DASCAR Sports. We'll see you next time.